Hello, I'm Phoebe Morris, and I'm honored to be the 8th grade class speaker for 2012. I would like to confess to you all that in the process of writing this speech, I struggled to find the perfect words. I pressed the delete button on my computer numerous times. I touched it so many times that it started to look shiny and worn down. If you looked at it at an angle, I found that one side was slanted down from pressing it in the same spot so many times. I had to stop some nights because my pinky started to get sore. I'm not kidding you when I say that I tossed and turned at night, digging through my brain for words that could express to you this great story. I lost sleep over the speech. But why? Why was it so difficult for me to find the words? And then it hit me. I could rattle on about our grades of pranks we have pulled. Like when Tati Viola convinced Mr. Miller her name was Lizzie. It took a whole week before he was told the truth by some good souls in the room. Or when Miss Broden's math class decided they would not show up to class and instead be by the pond where she could see them from her window. That didn't work out as they planned, for she gave the class a pop quiz that they all ended up being late for. And how could we forget our two epic April Fool's Day pranks this year? We were so organized that we got nearly the entire grade to simultaneously walk out of our first period classes, though some of us refused to leave math class. And there is nothing better than pretending to throw up in science class and turning around and doing it 3 periods later in Latin class. I've not brought myself to eat oatmeal since. But those few memories cannot and do not communicate everything we are. I could talk about how diverse our grade is in our interests. We have a handful of girls who were gifted enough to play on teams in the high school and also on teams or individual sports outside of school. Our passion, devotion, and time spent on sports in the middle school are commendable. We have had squash national champions, undefeated field hockey teams, humble wins, and respectful losses. We also have girls in this grade that have been in various plays, both here and at Brunswick. Folktales for Fun, The Tales of Arabian Mice, Monster Hunters, How I Got That Part, Beauty and the Beast, Seussical, and Godspell might ring a bell. Beautiful dancers and singers throughout the grade surround us. Their performances are inspiring, and their dedication is honorable. But these talents do not apply to all of us, and therefore cannot and do not communicate everything we are. I should tell stories of the many times that our grade has been part of Greenwich Academy history. Being part of the Robo Elite World Championship as a rookie team and placing second in the teamwork category. Now that is noteworthy. Or being the first class to take Chinese in the middle school. We were part of the first ever middle school soccer team and swimming team. Even being part of the longest trip from Washington, D.C. due to a broken engine on the New Jersey Turnpike was making Greenwich Academy history. And let's not forget how our grade broke more test tubes in the lab throughout the first week of school than last year's 8th graders did throughout the entire year. If we jump 5 years in the past, we come to an event that many of us are not proud of. As we went along the mock Oregon Trail, each wagon had a choice between starving and eating our pet dogs. Yes, the entire grade chose to eat the dogs. Unanimously, I might add. We did not do so well with the pet fish we had in the classroom, as you can imagine. Just the year before, as we pulled into the parking lot of the Brunswick Elementary School for a Cinco de Mayo dance, we began to boo the boys. We will do just fine next year, girls. They don't stand a chance. But still, those significant events and moments are just parts of our story. They cannot and do not communicate everything we are. At this point, one word would do. So I go on the handy-dandy dictionary.com and type in the word unique, which was one of the first words that came to my mind when I think of our grade. It said, quote, being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else, end quote. Okay, that's a bit cliche. So I click on the thesaurus. I read through the list. 2 words stick out. The first is extraordinary. This word is interesting because we actually molded it into a sounding different than it is spelled. We leave out the A, making it sound extraordinary, when we should be saying it extraordinary. This came to my attention when watching one of my favorite movies, Ramona and Beezus. When asked to give the definition of this word, a classmate says, "That's when you take something ordinary and give it a little extra." But I think our grade is more described as taking something ordinary and giving it a whole heap of extra, and then adding some rainbows and smiles and a few sprinkles to top it off. The second word that came to my attention was individual. This word was very interesting because it fits our grade because we are all so different. Not one of us is the same as another. We have different memories, different hobbies, different talents, different beliefs and passions. We have different families and different homes. We have different laughs, and we cry about different things. And these differences challenge us to listen with our ears and speak with our hearts. These differences have shaped and formed us into the extraordinary beings we have become. Each of our stories has come together over these past 10 years for some of us, and others as few as just 1 year. Our stories have woven this incredible pattern of our lives together. I have attended Greenwich Academy for approximately 1,430 days, and each day was an adventure. For some of us, the adventure here at Greenwich Academy ends today, but we'll start somewhere new. Others of us will continue our adventure here into high school, but all of us have been part of each other's adventures in the past. All of us have had a hand in weaving their string into an extraordinary pattern. One that is beautiful, one that is partly you and partly me. A pattern that represents our lives as the 8th grade graduating class of 2012. And to all the teachers and coaches out there that have had even the smallest impact on our lives, your commitment to our education and well-being does not go unnoticed. It is the things that you do throughout the years that show us what it means to love and be passionate about the things we do in our lives. You all are so remarkable that if we could strive to live a life that is only half as influential as your lives have been on ours, the world would be a better place. Class of 2016, I am so thankful I have had the chance to be part of the laughter, the tears, the stress, the happiness, the excitement, and everything else that has gotten us here. I would not trade one moment together if I had the choice. Congrats, we did it. For all us girls who will be walking the path next year, may the odds be ever in your favor.